Welcome back for another book review. Today we are talking about this big old book. So this is the Witch's Encyclopedia of Magical Plants, History, Folklore, Correspondences, and Spells by Sandra. I never know how to say her last name. So this is what the title suggests. It is a big old reference book. So this is just, it's got a little bit of an intro and then it's just, I'm sure there's hundreds and hundreds if I wanted to really count, but I didn't. But hundreds, I feel like, of various entries in here. Some have pictures, there's little, like, quick reference stuffs. Each one has what the title says, goes over the name of the plant. It also discusses the, like, folklore, the history. It talks about some spell ideas. It's got the correspondences. Again, it's a reference book. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 star. It is pretty good for a reference book. I don't think most people are going to read this cover to cover, truly. If you are a person who reads these cover to cover, I just need to know, like, what other books do you read? Because, like, I dread these. I wait till it is due to tackle this because I just put it off. Because if I have to grab this big old book or, like, the next stack of, like, this, where it's like a little tiny baby book in comparison, I'm gonna grab this every single time. These take forever. Like, this is just one of those books that, like, you're not going to be reading it cover to cover typically, but it's good to have and then just put it on a shelf when you need it and it is there for you. Also, sorry for the lovely noises of construction in the background. They've been going since 8 a.m. and it's now 12:30, so it just never stops. Ever. But yeah, she is a fantastic author. Honestly, if you want a lot of reference books, she is writing a lot of them. She talks about how she wants to kind of continue the legacy, carry the torch of Scott Cunningham. His reference books, especially like Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Plants or something like that. He's got his encyclopedias. They are very small and don't contain a lot of information, and they are old because he died like 30 years ago. And so these, huge in comparison, and include a lot more, like, of the stuff that we use more. And I feel like modern authors are including a lot of other stuff as well that Cunningham tried, but there wasn't a lot of information back then. Because again, he was writing in like the 80s, which doesn't feel like that long ago, but it was like 40 years ago. So it's been a while. Like, he died 30 years ago. So it's nice to have new names popping up with new modern reference guides. This is a fantastic option if you want to start learning about your plants and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it had a whole lot for, like, using it in, like, regular life. Like, that's one of the things that I kind of wish we had a little bit more of a bridge towards, of, like, somebody who's trained in, like, actually not killing people, because that's a thing. But, like, because the next one I'm going to talk about, she tells you to ingest essential oils, and it's like, that's going to kill you, but okay. So, like, well, theoretically, maim you, more likely than not, but yeah, like, if we just combine these kinds of books where it's like, hey, here's the magical stuff, here's mundane stuff, that would be cool. I don't know that that exists really, because, like, most of the witchy authors are not trained in, like, actual herbalism and, like, science and stuff, because scientists will tell you, like, certain plants you should probably eat. Mostly just eat more fruits and vegetables, get your fiber, and make sure you get your protein. But it'd be nice to have a combo situation. We just don't have that yet. But if you're looking for just magic, this is a good reference book. So yeah, that's who I would recommend it to if you are looking to add to your reference book collection. Fantastic. I have a few of her books and I use them pretty regularly. I usually always double check with multiple sources just because as an author I found they don't always line up at all, and some just randomly include something and you're like, where did you get that? That was nowhere. Okay. So always double check, and especially if you are ingesting anything, make sure to check it outside of witch spaces so that you know if it is actually toxic and to what level, and that you're not poisoning yourself, because again, these books don't usually go into that. They usually just leave it just to the magical side of things, not the mundane stuff. So sometimes I'll do a shout out like, hey, belladonna is kind of poisonous, dude. But otherwise, you kind of have to do your research. Like, did you know nutmeg? If you have too much of it, like, you will have problems. Most people don't know that, you know? Stuff like that where it's like, I wish these books had that kind of information. Or like, don't eat dried apricots. A lot of them, FYI. Like, 12 to 15 in one day. Don't do that. Or lots of cinnamon tea. Or cherry juice. There's just certain things that, like, could we include that in these books? That'd be great. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts and your favorite reference books in the comments down below. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, it's patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, and until next time, blessed be.